Found a new box on my porch from China. Well, wonder what's in the box. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Pretty sure there's going to be some building, unboxing, and talking involved. Conveniently, I have extra space on my bookshelf. And there's Morgan making sure I'm right. Okay, let's work on getting this box opened up. Probably not going to be very easy with one hand on a camera, but let's get to it. I see lots of people on YouTube that are able to do this. Well, it is well packaged, but it is another Anycubic printer. Things are a little messy in that corner, don't mind that. So they got nice styrofoam around it.
A few moments later.
Alright, so we got some of the garbage out of the way there. So we got the base to the printer. We can see some motors sitting here. Nice little bag of goodies. We'll go through these on the desk. Another motor. Very nice packaging in here. Alright, we got the base out of the way so we can get at more of the packaging here. And they have the gantry down here, nicely packaged, all in one piece. So in theory it should be put in 4 screws, level the bed, and go. I got a few things I'm going to add to it. We'll get to that in a minute. I'll see you at the desk.
A few moments later.
Alright, we got our second Anycubic Mega S printer. First one's obviously right there. We got the box, the gantry back there. We've got the base over there. Obviously, if I bought a second one, I like the first one. I had some tweaking to do. There was a little bit of frustration, but overall, for $209, not bad. The second one I did buy, they didn't send it to me. So, along with the printer came a box of goodies, and well, I got a few things on my desk that I've been working on with the printer. So, let's get to it. Comes with an SD card reader. Here's the one for my other one. This one actually I put Windows on it and just use it as a thumb drive, but micro SD, USB cable. So we'll be using that, connecting it to the Raspberry Pi. I was actually always surprised when I got the first one. Comes with a nice little metal scraper. And this is part that surprised me quite a bit, is the cutters. Comes with a nice little flush cutter. On the other flush cutter, the very tip broke off there, so maybe it's not as nice as I say, but it's pretty handy. Obviously, it comes with all the hex tools you need to assemble it or work on it and maintain it. Little needle to clean out the nozzle. A nice little after-sale service card. And the thing I like about Anycubic, and the reason I went back, is when I did have problems with this one, note the bed changing video, there was no questions asked. They just sent out new parts. I told them I thought I had an extruder going bad, and they sent me out a new extruder, so the after-sales support has been really good. Takes them about a day to respond, but it's not bad with the time difference, and they're always very apologetic. Here are the screws to put it together. Here's more screws. We'll have to read the directions, see what those are for. I don't remember. Oh, I think these screws go with the spool holder, which comes with the spool holder. Something Anycubic. Looks like quality control. It passed. Throw that out. They even send an SD card with it. I forget how big this was. It wasn't very big, but this will have a test file on it, a manual on it. I think it has a copy of Cure on it. We'll actually throw this in the computer and look at it later. Give us a chance to test the new one. Power cord, because this would be very useless without it. And lastly, it comes with a spare extruder. Not extruder, hot end. Now, these are not all metal hot ends. So I have one coming from AliExpress. That's an E3D version 6, which is all metal. I ordered a bunch of spare nozzles. So I've put in a hot end or two in the last couple of months, and then it's got the regular PTFE tube. So from what I have read, basically the PTFE tube here goes basically all the way to the bottom, so you can only go up to 240 degrees on it. Otherwise, you start degrading the tube. There are better tubes out there, better hot ends. So we'll be upgrading that in the future. For now, that goes in the tool drawer with the other one. And lastly, it comes with a spare limit switch, which is kind of nice. Although, I don't know. The fact that it comes with the limit switch and a couple parts tells me parts are going to wear out. But I haven't had any problems with these wearing out yet. And we'll be upgrading some of the stuff in time. So let's get the instructions out and build up the spool holder. Alright, we got the parts out that we need. Got the instructions. So they sent a spare screw, which is nice, because I'm sure somehow I will lose one. Make sure we get this back on the camera. Pretty simple here. I'll get this somewhat in there. We'll use the really nice hex keys that they sent with, because I don't feel like grabbing my set. Paint on this spool holder wears off, but otherwise it's been pretty solid. Mine's held a lot of filament. So we have a spool holder put together. Set that aside, and we'll keep our screw for later. Alright, we are back with our Mega S, and to save us time and me frustration and swearing, I actually put in the screws. So you got here one screw over here, two in the back, two on each side. So we got our three connectors here, and then we've got our filament sensor connector. And we're all connected up. Now we take a look at the printer. We've got our SD card reader, our USB, $110-volt switch, which will make sure that's on. And that is on 110 now, and then our power. So a very simple basic setup, unlike the Enders, which you basically have to build. So we got our bed, we're going to have to get that leveled. And their little paper here, again, doubles as bed leveling. So let's find some knobs and we'll get right back. All right, we got it plugged in, And to save you guys from hearing me swear again, I leveled it out. It was actually pretty easy for the first run. A bit easier than what that one was. I added a couple things right away. I got a little cleaning here to do, but now I'm getting ready to do the first print on it. So I have it actually connected up to my little octopi. Yeah, I have a lot of organizing and cleaning to do here. I have to get my lights on it. They'll be just like these. It's actually a different screen and a different firmware, so once my software upgrade's done, I'm going to have to change out the firmware. Alright, so we got the SD card in the computer. And it's got a few files here. It's got some in Japanese, some in Chinese, I would assume. It's got our English files, and then it's got the owl pair and the owl pair G-code. So we're going to open this up quick with Kira. And we'll take a peek in here. So the SD card in the printer does come with the Kira software. Might not be the most up-to-date. I just downloaded mine. Has the driver. In this case, I'm good with drivers. And it has the installation files for Mac and PC, and then the manual. So we can close out of that for now. And here we have the test file that they sent. So we're going to set it up. We're going to use their PLA. I did set up a second printer, so I have the Anycubic i3 Mega S Pro in here, and then I set up, it's the same printer, I just named it left printer. So there's my two printers. I'm going to use the generic PLA. I'm still learning a lot about these settings, so I'm just going to pick my Amazon Basics. I don't want it to take that long. No support. Cooling looks good. We'll slice it. And that's going to take 3 hours and 29 minutes. Let's see if we can go somewhere and improve our time. We'll be fine. So we're going to save this printer to, well, I didn't really want to save it there. We're going to save it to the disk. And we will put it in our 3D print folder. We'll just put it here. We'll open folder. Now, I have the printer set up here, and it is the correct one. Just clear some screens out. And we'll drag and drop it in there. Load it up and print it. Now I just have the Pi right now connected to the computer, and we'll let it run. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got going on here. Number one, the first thing I don't like is this printer seems a lot louder than what my other one is. The motors, the fans seem louder, so we're going to have to do some upgrading there. Not entirely sure I did a great job on my bed, but not too bad, maybe. Seems like stuff might not be calibrated right there. So I might have some tweaking to do on this one, unfortunately, but we'll find out when it's done. Take a listen, you can kind of hear the fans. The motors actually seem a bit quieter than my first one, but the fans are louder. Oh, we'll be back when it's done.
Several days later.
Alright, I'm back after a little bit of time. Had a family emergency interrupt the video I had going on, but it's given me time to do quite a bit of printing also in the meantime. So you can probably hear it in the background. I got the new printer going. Things are going pretty well with it. I got upgrades that I'm going to do, and that's what some of these parts are. So I've got some PET G parts that I made, and I've got some PLA parts that I made. PET G, I think I still got a little bit of tuning to do on it. I'm getting a little bit of stringing off of it, but I am pretty pleased with it in general. Didn't have any bed adhesion issues. Overall came out great, and that's basically stock out of the box. This is going to be, some of these are parts here to upgrade the hot end, which that should be here shortly. When we get into the smaller parts, to me they're looking pretty decent. You know, people with more experience may tell me that they don't. I'm open to hearing that and what I can do to improve them, but for what I'm doing, I'm pretty happy at this point. And an even smaller one came out with really no issues that I see. The only issue I have is trying to get the little detail, but that's an issue with my tip. So again, we got some stringing on this, but in general, PET G was doing a lot better. And with the older printer, I was having an issue with them sticking. Not the older printer, the one that's 4 months old. New printer, I didn't have an issue with that, but I noticed a difference in the bed from the new printer to the old printer. It's the same Ultrabase, but I noticed the old printer is more smooth, the newer printer is a little bit more textured, so that may have been what's helping me. Again, I got some tiny things I made off of it. This is PLA. It's going to be part of a cable chain, but came out rather well. I had to use a brim, otherwise it came off the bed while printing when using a skirt, but they came out pretty nicely. And actually, if I go find, they're not doing too bad when it comes to fitting together either. So getting a little bit bigger. This one actually came out pretty nice in my opinion, even the details. And again, this is part of the hot end upgrade that I'm going to be doing. This was done with no supports, so it handled everything pretty well. Matter of fact, all of these were done with no supports. So it handled everything pretty well. As for no supports on these, I don't know if you guys can see them, but you got a little bit of spaghetti in there trying to do the top here, but again, nothing I could tune it. I probably will tune it, but overall came out really well. And then I've got even bigger parts. And these are parts to a project that I'm working on. These actually printed in the vertical. And to print these, it wasn't printing one at a time like this. It would just eventually come off because there isn't much underneath. So I Tinkercaded them. So basically they printed that way. So, but in general, I think they came out well. I can see the detail pretty well on them. And this is at 0.3 millimeters. I was trying to not have 24-hour prints on it. But overall, the quality of the prints that I'm seeing for my experience level is I'm very happy with, especially coming off the new printer. I got some upgrades that I'm going to do to it. You know, you see the parts here that I'm making. I'm going to do the same upgrades to both, but you know, one at a time. I'm still debating if I want to upgrade the firmware and stuff, but I'll come out with videos as I do stuff or decide on stuff. So I only see like one video out there doing this hot end upgrade, so I will probably document that, and we'll see how bad I screw that up and how much it takes to fix it. But it seems like a pretty good deal on there, and well, when I do the video I'll show it, but it's a design I found on Thingiverse. Overall, the Anycubic Mega S, I would have to give it my thumbs up. I mean, it's really easy to put together. There doesn't take very long. Basically, out of the box, it prints great, in my opinion. Leveling it has been pretty good. I mean, I kind of check the level and tweak the level maybe once a week on them. these printers have been going now. One's been going for 4 months almost straight, and they get a little loud. I'm going to change the stepper motors on them. I can hear that some of the fans are getting louder. Those are going to get switched out. But what do you expect for around 200 bucks? The newer one for a while there was seeming a lot louder, but now it kind of quieted down. It was to a point where I couldn't even make this video before having that one running. It was so loud. So it's going to be the upgrades, but in general, Anycubic, I have to give it a thumbs up. I haven't tried any other brands yet. I probably will. It seems like people are liking the 3D printing videos, so I'll jump on and I'll provide how I learn, and we'll go from there. Hopefully I haven't found that many Anycubic videos, so hopefully I can kind of fill a gap there, and I will catch you guys next time. I'm not entirely sure what my next video is going to be, but probably be this because I got the parts coming here in probably a couple days. So if you guys found this at all helpful, like and subscribe. That helps me know what you guys like, what kind of videos to push out. Any recommendations? Can I entertain you more? You want to see the dog more? Just let me know. I like the few comments I've gotten. It's nice to talk to people, and it's been nice to hear different opinions. So